anglers. So can we talk about Mercury in Sagittarius and Jupiter in Gemini? And most importantly, Geminis and Sagittarius people, listen up, listen up, listen up. But everybody too. But with Mercury in Sag and with Jupiter in Gemini, we call that mutual reception, okay? Because Mercury rules Gemini and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Jupiter is in Gemini and Mercury is in Sagittarius, which means Mercury and Jupiter are mutually receptive. But in real life, that gives us a lot of Mercury and Sagittarius energy. So we're moving, our kids are changing schools. A lot of truth is coming out. We're flying and taking road trips to see siblings, to see aunties and uncles. A lot of wild moments, people throwing phones, a lot of anger coming out, truth bursting out in the conversation, in verbal arguments. It's a very mercurial, Jupiterian time right now. We're all thinking about getting older. Like I said, we're all moving. We're thinking about taking classes. We're thinking about any type of literacy, financial literacy with Uranus retrograde in Taurus. We're all taking classes for different reasons, depending on where these planets are in your chart. But we're all about knowledge right now. We're all about fleeing things right now. We're all about taking long distance trips, road trips. Now, Sagittarius people, with Jupiter, let's talk about Jupiter and Gemini first. With Jupiter and Gemini, Sagittarius people, your lives are Geminian, okay? I tell people to do your own little horoscopes, look at your own planet, look at your ruling planet. So Sagittarius people, wherever Jupiter is, that's going to tell you a lot about your life, okay? Sagittarius Sun, Sag Moon, Sag Rising, Sag Venus, and you can do this with every planet in your chart. But Sag heavy people, Sag dominant people, your lives have been Geminian since Jupiter has been in Gemini. And let me tell you, one of my Sagittarius friends, he got a new car. Gemini rules cars. His boyfriend moved out of his house, and then my Sagittarius friend wanted to change the locks. Sag is all about boyfriends, husbands. My Sagittarius friend got the new car, and then the tire blew on the new car, so he had to fix that. He and I have been talking on the phone a lot. Sagittarius is already truth, but since Jupiter's been in Gemini, Sag people being on the phone a lot, getting new phones, somebody throwing a phone, getting a new car, doing road trips. Sagittarius people are very Geminian. Now, Geminis, with Jupiter in Gemini, your lives are very Sagittarian. So, like I said, to do your own horoscope, well, let me say Jupiterian, okay? But to do your own horoscope, you look at your ruling planet, but you also look at what planet is transiting your sign. So Geminis, with Jupiter in Gemini, you are very Jupiterian right now. My triple Gemini brother from another, he done been from California to Atlanta to Miami. He's traveling everywhere right now. I know 4 triple Geminis. I think every Gemini I know is a triple. My other triple Gemini friend is going to Ireland for the first time. He's traveling abroad for the first time. Jupiter rules everything far away, long distance travel. My Gemini neighbor had to move out of her apartment today. My Gemini neighbor moved out of her apartment today. My other Gemini neighbor moved out of his apartment 2 weeks ago. So these are real life examples of how Gemini people are living a Jupiterian life right now with Jupiter transiting Gemini, and how Sagittarius people are living a Gemini life right now because Jupiter has been in Gemini. Now, Mercury in Sagittarius is just compounding all of this. Mercury rules Gemini. Okay, Mercury being in Sag, that's going to give Mercury ruled people. So this is Virgos too. So Virgos with Mercury and Sag, Virgos dealing with leg sickness, taking care of older people, traveling for sickness, traveling to help somebody clean some stuff, the truth about bills and paying bills, the truth about sisters coming out, the truth about sisters, wives, and women coming out. And let me tell you, everything I'm watching on TV reflects all of this. So for the past 2 nights, I've been watching these Apple TV series. One is called Disclaimer and one is called Suspicion. So in Suspicion, that's with Uma Thurman. And I tell people, take inventory of the world around you. Even what you watch is going to reflect the sky. And I tell people, what you watch on TV will speak to you. That's how the world has no boundaries. But everything is governed by this sky right here, okay? So in Suspicion with Uma Thurman, her son is abroad in the UK, Sagittarius abroad. And Mercury has everything to do with scripts and script writing, okay? So even when we watch movies, the scripts and what the actors are saying and the dialogue is going to reflect Mercury transits. But with Mercury and Sag, Uma Thurman's character's son is abroad and he gets kidnapped. So the whole movie goes from UK to America, from UK to America. And I'm quite sure he was in college. Both Mercury and Sag have everything to do with college and school. In Disclaimer with Cate Blanchett, she's like some type of politician and her sleazy secrets start to come out. Okay, we're in Scorpio season. Scorpio is semi-sextile Sagittarius. Scorpio is hiding. Okay, Scorpio is the investigation. Sag is the truth busting out on your ass. So with what's it called? Disclaimer with Cate Blanchett, her sleazy secrets start to come out regarding her husband, and the secret involves a time when she and her husband were traveling together. Her husband was on a work trip and she went with her husband and she did something sleazy. I ain't gonna tell you what she did. Go ahead and watch it. Oh, it's so good. Watch Disclaimer and watch Suspicion. But Kate did something sleazy and now the truth is coming out. And all this is reflective of this Mercury and Sag, Jupiter and Gemini, because these two transits right now are exaggerating truth, conversation, the truth about your daddy, the truth about older siblings coming out, the truth about older people in the family coming out. Everybody's moving, changing schools. The kids are changing schools. People are changing colleges. People are dealing with fatherhood issues. People are traveling. Everybody is leaving, traveling, thinking about getting older. Sagittarius and Jupiter has everything to do with us getting older and what we're going to do when we're getting older. We're leaving things for the betterment of our own lives. But Mercury and Sag and Jupiter, and then Jupiter is retrograde in Gemini. Mercury is about to go retrograde in Sagittarius. I'm going to do a whole video on that, but that's going to be big. I'm telling you, truth is going to be flying out all over the place. We're going to be sending cars to people. People are going to be leaving cars, hopping in the car after an argument and speeding off, throwing the phone. A lot of truth coming out over the phone. We may have some wild arguments. We're going to realize that we need to leave things and flee things for the betterment of our lives. But for right now, I wanted to tell you guys about Mercury and Sag and Jupiter in Gemini and how mutual reception manifests in real life. And I hope you see it in real life. Take inventory of your life. Think about the people you know. You know somebody who's moving. You know somebody who's changing schools. Pauline, shout out to my girl Pauline. I hit her up today. She's like, oh, my daughter's changing schools. Mercury and Sagittarius, Jupiter and Gemini. Gemini and Mercury, elementary school. Sagittarius and Jupiter, leaving, fleeing things. So, is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, so like I said, like I keep reiterating, this is a time of leaving, fleeing, truth, wild, long distance travel, traveling abroad, freeing yourself from things. And then we have Neptune in Pisces and Saturn in Pisces. Anything Sag or Jupiter, anything Gemini, the Gemini Sagittarius axis squares anything in Pisces. So this involves a lot of feelings too. We're freeing ourselves of trauma. We're freeing ourselves of depression. We're traveling for mental breaks. We're traveling for hospitalizations. We're traveling for deaths. My Pisces friend just found out his father passed away, and soon he's going to have to travel to his hometown. But he just got back from Colombia. So Pisces are feeling this too through the square. So if you have Pisces placements, your Jupiter and Mercury are most likely squaring that Pisces placement, and that's going to make this more emotional. And Mercury and Jupiter, it's squaring the Pisces in all of our houses. So feeling emotional, the truth about emotions coming out, having emotional outbursts, men being emotional, men nurturing and men helping us take care of our emotions. Huge right now.